Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Last time, we found an old relic of not necessarily the gods, but the people who came before man. I still forget the name of the race, the Isu, Ithu if you have a list. And use the machine.
We should be careful. What? Charybdis and Scylla await at the bottom of the sea, I suppose. No! Pirates! A lot of them! Ha. Only pirates?
Well, a lot of pirates. But I used some sort of ancient machine to upgrade my, my spear? Well, spear point. It's not really the whole spear. It's been broken off. The Spear of Leonidas. The question I have about it, though, is that, the voice of the machine was in English, which typically shouldn't be an issue, but the reason why I bring that up is because, language in within the Animus automatically translates language for the user. At least that's my understanding of language in that in the story.
Wait for the commander's return.
So every time that they're speaking Greek in this story, they're doing so in an actual historical era, but the Animus converts it to English because the person experiencing the memory does not speak the language. Certain words are not translated, and it makes me wonder if that's specific, whether it's for the purposes of like making it seem true to the source, or also presenting the idea that these are words that the Animus doesn't understand, such as Misthios and Malake. Well, with words like Malake, that is a swear, so not all swears are going to be in the dictionary, for that matter. With Misthios, I don't know about that one. That might be more of a general term. So that might be why the Animus doesn't understand it. Alternatively, it could be something similar, a case similar to translating the Persona series into English. In that there are certain terms that are just not translated to keep the understanding of the series as that local to Japan. You hear them speak English enough, you could maybe forget about the fact that it does take place in the middle of Japan, even though at some points they do discuss the idea of learning how to speak English and saying how it's tough. But they still use more traditional greetings, most commonly being senpai. Why is this dog initiating combat with me? That dog clearly don't know what he's messing with. And I ran like a hero. But that also leads to a separate question. So the Animus translated the Greek to English, and it translated whatever language the computer was to English. What language was the computer speaking? Does Cassandra understand what is being spoken by the computer? And that, I don't know if that's actually the case. Also, we're going to try and take out this target over here. The target is 2 levels above me, and this game is very, very, very strict on its leveling system. So that might be too high. Get it? Too high. I'll stop. No, I won't stop. Can't stop. That was actually one of my New Year's resolutions. Was I felt like I didn't make enough puns last year. So I feel I need to be more resolute in my pun making. So if I make less puns this year, that would be breaking my resolution, and that would be no good. Also, eventually I'm going to have to pull out this eagle to scout out the area, because I'm sure there's more than just the target here. And alternatively, I probably should get out of the way. Although this is actually a pretty crowded area. It's got a lot more civilians than I expected, which could be problematic, but the guy is joining his friends? Is there a way for me to scatter everybody and make them run for it? That way I don't necessarily have to incur... Well, I can always just pay off my fees. So that's what I'm going to do.
You! Ha! Cosmos finally brought me a head worth cracking open! Come here!
Oh, cool. Maybe I can... Alright, maybe I could... Ah! There he goes. And I don't know who this other guy is that feels like he wants to take me on. Alright. Okay. One more cultist is dead. And apparently murder is not enough to acquire a bounty, so I'm just gonna get out of here. Okay, so now I kind of have some memory as to what I'm supposed to do. I'm heading off to Athens. I stopped by that ancient place for Socrates? Not Socrates. Definitely not him. But I'm heading to Athens to warn Pericles about the cult of Cosmos. And hopefully get some information as to the location of Cassandra's mother.
Commanders left the helm!
Although, let's take a look at what this underwater cavern is. Because why not? Oh. Maybe that's why not, because there are sharks. And the sharks will likely want to eat me. Aha, I have escaped the sharks. The sharks ain't got nothing on me. Although I can't... It's too bad I can't light any torches while underwater. Because that would probably be very useful. Oh, this is the end of the end of the cave. So there's still one more treasure here. Probably next to one of these sunken boats. Probably guarded by sharks. Alright, it is done. Nope. And there be fighting of here. The Spartans and the Athenians are in fact at war with each other, so I suppose they wouldn't really be so happy to see each other. But do they really have to fight where I'm being attacked by sharks? That's very rude of them. Actually, I wasn't really being attacked by sharks. The sharks kind of like noticed me, and then they were like, let's get out of here. Before I get dragged into this mess. Although that seemed like quite the even skirmish.
Ready? Meet me at the Pnyx in Athens.
And they're just still going in the back there. Ooh, now it's 4 Spartan ships to 2 Athens ships. And nobody's doing anything except circling around each other. Truly a dangerous battle. Oop, I think a couple people crashed into each other, but it might have been allies. But first, let's check out what this statue is at the top of the hill. He does not seem to be greeting people coming in from the sea. More than he's greeting people who happen to be leaving. Or at least that's the impression I get from the direction the statue is currently facing. The statue of Zeus at Mount Hymettus. And that's not a viewpoint? I would have imagined it to be a viewpoint. And that you could maybe like hop onto his staff there, but you can't. So, since it's not a viewpoint, let's see, where is the... Okay.
It was written by Themistocles, the Athenian general.
And that is where I'm going, the capital of Athens. Alright, then that makes it interesting. In that I begin the game fighting for the Wolf of Sparta, but that is really merely as a convenience. I'm not fighting for Sparta. I'm just trying to get to Cassandra's father, who happens to be the general.
Let's see what this city has in store for me.
Ah, the Ubisoft Club. Whereas now I'm on the other side of the fence. They don't mind me climbing up walls, I suppose. They're like, oh... Like, that's what everybody does. My neighbor the other day, he went out to rent a movie from Redbox. Good old George Popopoulos. And he leapt the fence. All of them, in order to get to where he was going. But there is an untracked target. Who is near here that I'm not tracking? Yeah, I can see you. Oh, okay. I have to climb up that thing for the old guy, the blind guy, and then tell him about what I see. Okay.
The famous Acropolis. A testament to humankind's skill and craftsmanship.
And now I will climb it. By the rear. I'm sure Athena would not mind.
A papyrus. Says it was written by Themistocles, the Athenian general.
As we rounded the hilltops, we could see Athens bustling below us and Athena above, matching our gaze. There, she eternally mourned our suffering with dignity and grace. These haystacks are placed next to all tall heights, specifically for climbers and jumpers. But let's see what this guy wants.
I might have a job for you. If you're as good a fighter as I've heard.
I am pretty awesome.
Don't let it go to your head. I hear about everything that happens in this city, Mystios.
With flattery like that, how could I possibly turn you down?
I'm not trying to flatter you. I'm trying to hire you. I need some Spartan military targets removed.
I think you may have the wrong idea about me, General.
Demosthenes.
I'm not a murderer, if that's what you expected.
I expected
Definitely
you
not a murderer.
Was I wrong?
No, not completely.
Hasn't killed whole bunches of
My spies
people.
tell me the Spartans are mobilizing. What I want you to do is hamstring them. Get into their forts and remove the commanders in charge.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm thrilled you approve. You'll need to bring me the seals of the commanders you kill as proof. You'll be amply rewarded.
Those don't seem like standard Athenian tactics.
They're not. But it will work, and that's what matters. We've already lost too many Athenians to those savages using traditional warfare. The other generals disagree, but I refuse to let them destroy our chances.
What do they want to do?
They want honorable face-to-face warfare, pitting our forces directly against the Spartans. We're not going to win a contest of strength against those brutes. We need to outthink them. So, will you kill the commanders?
Consider it
I'll
done.
take the job.
Good. I might not have approval to deploy our men to do this, but I'm not about to let that stop me.
What's so special about these seals?
Only elite Spartan commanders carry these seals, those in charge of entire forts. They'd all die before parting with them. So bring me the seals as proof that they're dead.
They definitely won't just toss them to whoever happens to be standing nearby, in hopes that you kill them instead.
Where can I find them?
The Spartans have been making inroads into Athenian territory, taking over forts that once belonged to us. Make them pay for every inch.
What's your strategy?
Whatever it takes to protect Athenian lives and kill Spartans.
That's not what I meant.
I was gonna say that's not a strategy. That's
My career is none of your
a
business.
goal.
Know that I don't seek much. Only proper recognition of my strategic brilliance.
You've told me enough. I'll get your seals for you, General.
I have brought back your seals for you. All 3 copies of your favorite seal CDs. Spartan seals can be found on Spartan pole marks, located in Spartan forts. That seems like it would be a pretty good place to expect Spartan seals to be, I suppose. Probably none of them are in the city of Athens, if I had to guess. I know that's probably crazy and all, but I probably have to leave the city of Athens to find these seals. So I'm just going to stick around here, continue on the quest. The main quest, which would lead me to Pericles. And then consider the seals to be more targets of opportunity. You know, I wonder if at any point in this game Cassandra is expected to choose a side, or whether she's just expected to kind of make a decision that's separate from both sides.
But we must come together now for the glory of Athens. Glory for you.
Although, like, the story is supposed to exist within history, so eventually a side does win.
Because the Spartans are near our walls does not mean we can act like them. Good crop. Shame the Spartans burned the fields where it grew. The Parthenon is glorious, Pericles, but at what cost? How many triremes could we have built instead? We must not become divided. We are divided, and the Spartans are winning.
Yeesh, that's Pout Master General there, with his heavy pouting. Although it looks like Pericles does have some opposition for the throne?
Where?
The presidency? I don't actually know how Athenian government worked back then. I'm just gonna walk up to you and say hi.
Stay back. She's no threat to Pericles. I assure you.
Herodotos.
Herodotus.
Herodotos.
Let them through.
Herodotos.
It's good to see you again, Pericles.
And you as well. I only wish it were under better circumstances. And who's this?
Cassandra.
Welcome, Cassandra. And what did you think of your first taste of Athens?
I think you and Cleon both made good points.
Good points aren't at all what the crowd seem to care about. They're afraid, and Cleon indulged their fear.
Pericles, we've come to...
Yeah, that's not too far from American democracy.
Speak our words more privately.
Fine. We've come to you on urgent business.
As does everybody.
I may have told Cassandra you'd invite her to your symposium.
You'd ask me to exclude every Athenian and invite an outsider instead. You heard the crowd.
You've seen the
They don't
tomato.
need another reason to hate me.
I don't need another tomato on my clothes.
Maybe the prying eyes will see her as a servant.
I'm no one's servant.
Cassandra, this is Athens. If you want something, sometimes you have to play a role.
And what exactly is it that you want?
I'm looking for
I'm looking
somebody.
a woman who's very important to me. Herodotus said a symposium could be useful for gaining information.
He would be correct. I can get you in, although I can't promise the information you seek will be found.
Just tell me what to do.
First, check on my colleague, Mediochos. He was meant to meet me today, and it's not like him to miss an appointment.
Done.
Where was he last seen? Oh, he was at the tomato factory. Nothing could have gone wrong there.
Yes. There's an ostracism vote taking place that could use your influence.
Metiochos. You said he was your colleague?
A politician and
Is that a silent C I'm
one of my
detecting?
most loyal friends.
Phidias? The famous sculptor? What did he do, exactly?
He stands accused of multiple offenses and is awaiting trial. You'll find him under close guard at his workshop.
And what's...
Ostracism.
Exile is a term you may be more familiar with.
Oh, I got ostracized. It's been a while since I've heard about anybody being ostracized.
It
It's between the sophist Anaxagoras and another man on trial for impiety.
It's been a while since I've heard anybody talk about impiety, so
I'll do.
hopefully they'll explain what that is when we get there.
Expect you to use discretion.
Shh, discretion is my middle name removed.
It isn't exactly an invitation, but the promise of one is just as good. Although I'm sure he'll still ask Aspasia if it's okay.
Oh, those are IOUs. They're just as good as money. And somehow somebody gave me boots. I'm not entirely sure how that worked. Ooh, you seem to have a quest for me. Ah, this guy.
From what I saw, you weren't doing much associating.
Just politics.
Well, that's just politics. Once we get off the stage, we go, we get a brewski.
That's not what I heard.
Everybody's happy. Then we get onto the stage, and I just punch him in the dick. Because that's how politics are. Are politicians liars, or was Pericles chosen by the people?
Selected. Athens is the seat of democracy.
Oh, it is. It's just that the wrong man is sitting in that seat.
Did you actually need something, or did you just want to educate me on the finer points of democracy?
No, I just wanted to educate you on the finer points of democracy. Please be on your way.
What I want is for my people to reclaim control. You could help me.
My services don't come cheap.
I understand the wills of commerce and the needs of the people.
I expect a new pair of boots. The last pair I got was not as good as what I already had.
And how do you want me to help?
Help Athens, not me. The Spartans howl outside our city walls.
Yeah, that I can do. So basically, it's creating a quest in which I'm not necessarily opposing anybody within Athens, as much as I'm taking the fight to Sparta, which technically is allying myself with both Pericles and Cleon. I was gonna call him Chair, but
and return to me with proof of your exploits. Show them that we have teeth too.
I'll get it done.
Trust me, this is a huge opportunity for you.
doing work for me is a huge opportunity for you. Yes. Okay, and that actually coincides with another quest I'd picked up. But let's actually do this quest for Pericles first, because it happens to be right over here.
Help me! Please, someone! By the gods, why did it have to be snakes? Help me!
Snakes! Why did it have to be snakes? Where are... What is the entrance to where you are?
Hurry! Kill the snakes before it's too late!
Oh, there's... Get... Yeah. Nah, that wasn't too hard at all.
Blessed be the god that sent you here. I'd have been eaten alive if it weren't for you.
I don't think they'd eat you.
But they would have certainly killed me. So thank you.
I'm happy to help.
Always happy to help someone in need.
The world could do with more like you. Especially now.
Pericles sent me. He was worried about you. You often get tied up and surrounded by snakes?
Every
How can you talk
Tuesday.
about this? Thugs broke into my home, dragged me here, tied me up and surrounded me with these hideous creatures. They must be stopped.
That's really... That is a really complicated way to kill somebody. Why
would anyone do
snakes?
this?
Politicians are easy targets in these troubled times. When they tied me up, they said I was a snake. That I should die by my own kind.
That's like James Bond villain stuff.
Did you recognize the people who did this?
Pericles asked me to go down to the fishing district and talk with the poor and sick to give them hope. That's how I recognized their voices.
Oh, yes.
They threw rotten food and yelled insults at me. These thugs disguised their faces, but their voices and the stench of fish were unmistakable.
So basically, he wants me to go
Where should
beat
I
up the
look?
poor and
See
sick
their
over in the
faces,
fishing area.
But I recognized their voices from one of the districts I visited. They're regulars at Cleon's rallies. They live in the flooded part of the city, near the wall.
That's everything I
Track
need.
them
I'll
down,
just,
Medeiros. Don't
go
worry.
kill
Such a
everybody
high
that smells
right
of
now.
fish.
At this rate, we'll tear each other apart within the city before the Spartans can breach the walls.
Although I suppose if, like, the doors were all open, then the snakes would just leave. I mean, like, what's... If somebody's tied up, like, what's keeping the snakes from even sticking around?
Proud to talk about.
Also, there's treasure here. For some reason. So basically, that is what...
Stay hidden if I don't want to fight.
That's what Cassandra's up to. Just beating up the poor, and then stealing from them.
There has to be a clue around here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It
So
looks
she
like
does
the
actually
thugs who
file
attacked
clues.
Antiochus weren't the masterminds behind this plot.
Now's the time to strike. Pericles' corrupt friend, Methios, has been oppressing the poor for too long. Take these snakes. You know what you have to do. Methios will be the first. Remember the words of Cleon and let them inspire us all to greatness. Ah, snakes.
Snakes? Like the ones that were meant to kill Metiochus.
Someone is very irresponsible with the care of their pet snakes.
Snake bites. And someone hid the body. Though I have a feeling this death was an accident.
They hid the body really well. They
This
just...
must be the house of Metiochos' attackers. But the letter proves they're just tools in someone else's plan. Whose?
What the fuck are you doing sniffing around my house?
You attacked Metiochos. I found the snakes, the letter from your friend, and the
Oh, that was easy.
all here.
Boraktis. We all knew the risks. Change don't happen without a bit of blood being spilled.
What
Why
the-
kill Metiochos with snakes?
We're prisoners in our own city. Because of Pericles and his crooked friends. The snake dealer told us it's time to send a message. Time they suffered.
You can't take the law into your own hands.
Unless
Now
you're
I
me.
need to decide what to do with you.
Cleon says it's
Like,
time
I'm
to
not
take the
really
city back
a
from the elite.
representative of the
Time to
law,
fight.
but I can
Don't matter
take the
what
law
you
into
do
my
us,
hands.
There will be others who follow our lead.
I know someone gave you those snakes. They used you to do their dirty work. I want to know who.
He's a real hero of Athens. No puppet of Pericles is going to stop him.
Don't be someone's puppet. Tell me where the snake dealer is.
All right, all right. He's got a camp just
That was
inside the
easier
walls.
than I expected.
Sells his snakes from there.
It's not too late to make a difference, but we have to work together.
Maybe you're right. You didn't have to show us mercy. But where do we start?
Start here. This district is your home. Ignore the politicians and concentrate on where you can make change.
Thank you. We will try.
I need to
Also,
look after
try not
these
to murder
snakes.
people with snakes. And if you can, give more high fives to everybody you see. That's my political stance, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, let's see if this... Oh, get this... I was going to see if the snake dealer was being guarded by anybody, and of course the snake dealer is being guarded by snakes, which makes a lot of sense. It also means that my being able to sneak up on this guy is going to be a little tricky because I'm going to be fighting snakes pretty much in the open. But he doesn't seem like the AI in this game isn't programmed for them to... Actually, wait, it is programmed for them to care about the deaths of animals. But, like, the animals themselves can't really call out for assistance. Oh, you son of a... So he was sitting in the other chair. Now he gets up, he goes... If he gets up and he sits back in the other chair again, I will have no choice but to kill him slightly harder than I'm killing him right now.
Should keep friends Pericles safe.
That was, yeah. Alright. So that's done. Oh, but I actually have to report said victory to, Mechios? Medios? It's been like a couple minutes.
Looks like your situation's improved since we last met.
The danger has passed for now. But while those monsters are out there, no one is safe.
A group of fishermen tied you up. They were being used by a snake dealer working for enemies of Athens.
What did you do with them?
I showed them the error of their ways and sent them on their way. They won't be bothering you again.
I'm glad no blood was shed. But how do you know they won't return?
I made it very clear that doing anything stupid would make me angry.
Well, that must
And you do not want to make Cassandra angry. She'll probably stab you in the butt.
I'll be sure to mention
She's
this to Pericles.
done that many times. Alright, and I think to cap off this section, there's this guy, Phidias, who wants to get out of town.
Stop. I can't let you go any further.
It isn't often you see a guard outside of an artist's workshop.
I just do what I'm told, stranger. And until I'm told otherwise, no one is going in or out.
Stand aside, this is important.
So is keeping people out. Maybe you can see Phidias after his trial, if the people spare his life.
Listen, I'm working for Pericles. He wants me to see Phidias.
Well, I'm working for the people of Athens, and they want Phidias dead. Now back off, or you're dead too.
Everyone has a price.
But what if I don't want to pay him? What if I just want to sneak
Depends
around?
how much you have.
Here, take it.
That'll do just fine. You tell anyone I did this, and you're as good as dead.
Funny. I was going to say the same to you.
At least that random Athenian light soldier was confident. Now, what do the people have against this guy?
Sorry about that.
How did you get past the guard? No one gets past the guard.
Relax.
I'm pretty
Pericles
awesome.
sent me.
Praise Athena. I knew he'd send help. I was worried they sent someone after me.
They? Who?
The shadows in the night. Why you fear falling asleep? They're hunting me, us. No one is safe in Athens anymore.
So the
The
cult?
cult of Cosmos. You know about them.
Of course I know about the cult. Here, look at this.
These are instructions.
On how to kill me. But they've been torn.
Then Pericles isn't just getting you out of Athens to save you from the trial. He's saving you from being murdered.
I don't know who to trust. I'm just an artist. I just wanted to create. Please, what am I to do?
I just wanted to create statues with anatomically correct penises.
And now I find
Who
that
would
the cult
kill
want to
me
you.
for such a crime?
I said pull yourself together.
Yes, of course.
Cleon said you're wasting the people's drachmae. If he had his way, he'd serve them your head.
Cleon mentioned me? That's going to hurt Pericles. First impiety, now theft. After all we've done for this city.
What have they done for this city?
You and Pericles seem close.
For Pericles and me, it started with our love of Athens. Our differences push us to greatness. That is true friendship.
All
Alright,
right,
let's
we
get
need to
out of
go.
here.
Do you have any idea where I can take you?
South of Athens, there's an island called Seriphos. My friend Theras lives there. When I discovered the plot against me, I sent word to him. If anyone can help us, he can.
Any clues he has of the cultists' identities, I want them.
Yes, yes, anything. A guard.
Ah,
I'll distract them while you sneak out. Meet me tonight to set sail for Seriphos. Don't.
so do
show
I
your
fight
face
these
until
guards
you
or
see
do
me
I
at the docks.
spend more of my hard-earned drachmae?
You didn't really think I'd let you come and go as you please, did you?
Oh, that
Now,
son of
where
a...
are you?
Hmm. I'll start with him because I paid him off. And then him. And then I will hide the bodies here for some reason. Though it's probably not necessary, since nobody was watching. I guess that's the advantage to fighting him later, is I'm fighting him outside of view of people.
Good, you made it. I was beginning to worry.
I told you I'd get you out of Athens.
So you did.
Can your friend be trusted?
Theras and I have been friends for a long time. I just sent word telling him where to meet us.
Wasting time
All right.
will only get us into trouble. Let's head to Seriphos while we still can.
Now the question becomes, are we going to get ambushed on our way there or when we get there? And also the camera kind of lingered on those two statues just kind of like standing there for a little while.
Ready to sail!
So I need a circle west. Yeah, Athens is not exactly the most convenient port to get into. I've got to say,
What's that island ahead of us?
That, my friend, is the famous island of Salamis.
The place where Athens defeated the Persians.
It's in this bay.
is that a pirate? Are these pirates? And that's why they're all wanting to attack me?
Ours! In position! Ship
Or do they realize that I'm carrying this Phidias character, and they're like, we're gonna put a stop to this guy. Or was it because I looted that thing? A lot of boats in the sea blocking the way.
It's good to see you alive and well, Phidias.
And you, Theras. As you can see, I didn't get here alone.
Ah, yes. The kind and thoughtful hero you mentioned in your letter.
Civilian has a name, but he's still only marked as civilian. That's how you know how important he is. They bothered to name the person that he was going to meet, but they didn't really attach a label to him.
I'm glad I could get him out alive.
And for that heroism, I found some information on a man named Brisson who's plotting Phidias' early demise. Hopefully you can make something of this clue.
I can.
Please give Pericles my thanks and my farewell. And be careful. I still believe many in Athens are in danger.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.